Slap POV again for the second video. But listen, I have a question I want to ask. And this might sound stupid, but I was thinking, like, I don't believe in any paranormal stuff. I don't believe in any ghosts, nothing like that, right? But for the people who do believe it, and okay, let's just say there is another realm, right, where, like, the people, the souls of dead people, of deceased people, right, go. And I'm pretty sure that's what a ghost is supposed to be, like the soul of a dead person. So if that's true, then the ghost used to be a person. So now let's just take that and run with it, right? If the ghost used to be a person, is the ghost going to be scared of other ghosts? Is that a crazy question? What do you think? If you're an expert on this, and just let me know, okay? If you're an expert on paranormal stuff and you know this stuff, right? And you love this stuff, and you love it with your whole heart, tell me, do ghosts act just like us? Like, do ghosts just like, hey, Jemmy, I enjoyed the barbecue last week? You know what I mean? Or are they scared of each other? Because every single one of them were human at one point. And that brings up another thing, though. At what point... No, that's stupid. I know at what point was there only one ghost. I know there was one ghost at one point. Because that ghost would be... Unless... Who was the first person to die? That's crazy. Hold on. So, first person died. They turned into ghosts. So would they be the only ghost? Or do animals have ghosts too? Are there T-Rex ghosts living among us? If ghosts are real? There's too many questions and not that many answers. But look, let's get back to the main question. Do ghosts scare each other? Because it makes sense to me, because every single one of those ghosts were human at one point, and humans are, like most humans, are scared of ghosts. So it would make sense. But now look, this is my thinking, right? Because look, when we are like little kids, we're usually scared of like adults, of like other adults that aren't mom, dad, sister, brother, whatever, that aren't family. We're usually scared of them. And even for the family, if it's a distant family, if it's like an uncle or something, we're still scared of the uncle. But after a while, we grow out of it. So is that the same with a ghost? And do ghosts even age? Or do they just stay the same age even as time passes? And this is all hypothetical because obviously there's not really a lot of proof to believe that ghosts are real. But there is also a lot of, like, if they're not real, how do so many people believe in ghosts if they're not real? Because so many people believe. Like, did one dude just come up with the idea and he was like, yeah, let's fly with it? You know what I mean? Like, that's crazy. I don't know. Should I start believing a ghost? Because honestly, if they're not real, I wouldn't lose anything. And if they were real, then I also wouldn't lose anything. That's interesting. Because if they aren't real, then I can just say, oh, okay, I was wrong. But if they are real, then I could just say, oh, okay, I was right. Is that why so many people believe in ghosts? Because they're just bored and they just want to believe in ghosts? Or what? That's an interesting thought right there. That's an interesting thought right there. But anyways, I believe that when you are a new ghost, you're going to be scared of the old ghost. Because that makes sense to me. New ghost meaning that you died recently, so you're not used to this. But now, what shape what form would you take as a ghost? Would you take yours just like your normal person form? Or would you be floating like the ghosts in cartoons? Or would you be something else? That's crazy. I gotta investigate further into this. But look, the main point, I think new ghosts would be scared of the old ghosts because they haven't seen that. They haven't been around. But after a while, I think they would get used to it and they would just be like, they would just be like us. You know what I mean? Like they would really just act like us. They would be like, hey Ethan, how's the wife? And stuff. I think they would just be normal, I guess. But would they adopt the same? I gotta register this. I gotta research this. I gotta research into this further. And okay. Anyways, yeah, I'm out of here.